I want to clarify exactly how the teaching certificate destroys our children. It teaches a fundamental principle that our children are all the same. And what I mean by this is that if one child has a learning deficit, for example, let's say that they really struggle reading, we put an undue emphasis on them learning to read. And this not only beats down the spirit of the child. If you tell a child when he goes to school, here's what you're going to do all day, what you suck at the most. The more you hate it, the more you got to do it. We're going to beat it in. We're going to teach the discipline and the structure necessary, which clearly doesn't work. American schools don't have discipline and structure. But the principle of the teaching certificate is that they're all going to take a standardized exam. And in that exam, they're all going to have knowledge of all the same content. What a boring way to live life. Imagine that if you and I had both learned all the same things. And then we just talked about what we already knew. Clearly, this is not the intention for man. So, if we're going to break free of this, if we're going to encourage kids to be creative and inspired, the proper way to do it is look for natural leadership within the children. A child that's exceptionally good at math can get way ahead in math, can spend a preponderance of time doing something that's difficult, something that's needed within society, something that makes the child unique and makes them strong, and they will become disciplined through their own inspiration. You won't have to beat it into them if they feel in their hearts they're doing something important, getting ahead so that they can be helpful, so that they can be prominent, so that they can be productive, so that they can be a champion. And of course, that child needs to learn to read as well. These things happen naturally. I didn't learn to read till I was a teenager, and I'm an avid reader now. All those teachers that just tried to beat reading into me, that didn't do anything. It wasn't even helpful, you know? So then you say, well, what about the children that struggle universally across the board in academics? Well, what about them? Are you saying that academics is the most useful skill that a person can have? How much academic qualifications do you need to raise a baby, for example, especially a small child? How much academic achievement must you have accomplished to be creative and playful, or to be disciplined and structured? There are so many opportunities within society that are not academic. One of my best friends is a tree cutter. He climbs trees and cuts them down. He didn't graduate high school, and he's happy. He's a happy man. And he does useful work. And he makes good money. But that's not even an option within our school system. You had to beat that man into dropping out of school because there was nothing useful for him to do there. That doesn't sound like a productive structure. Let's get it together, America. Let's do this together. Let's destroy the Department of Education, return the education to the parents. Strip the bureaucracy. The corporate America does not need to help you decide how to raise your children. I promise you, you are plenty of capable of doing this by yourselves. And if we all got together and we said, what would our schools look like? What would we want for our children? Looking at the child. And then we come together. And you're going to tell me that the person who says, oh, my child struggles across the board in academics is going to come to school and say, what I want most is I want you to beat this child down and make sure that he gets all his academic skills. I don't want him to seek any opportunity outside of academics. Well, what an asinine system. Probably don't seek any opportunity within academics would be a better solution for that child. And what about the opposite? What about the high achieving child? And you say, oh, we're the school system. We're going to put that high-achieving child in with everyone else. And we're going to try to get them to go at the same pace as about a little below average. No high-achieving parent would say that. That parent would say, hey, let my child learn independently. Can you give them a book and a structure and let them feel a sense of achievement above and beyond what is normal for that demographic of child so that they can be inspired? That's what that parent would say. But the school system says, oh, no, 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 no. We need one plan for all children. So we're going to take the kid who hates academics and the kid who loves academics. And we're going to make one plan that puts them together so that they're both perfectly miserable. That's the American school system, and it needs to be destroyed.